to Best Whole New World. And we have the Journey to Awakening with Beloved right now. And it's a new moon that
Oh, it,
happened. Well, we're in the beginning of the new moon phase, as if you've been following, always with new moon. 3 days before, there's new moon day, and 3 days after. So what do you think, beloved?
oh my God, this is such a powerful, powerful new moon. I mean, it's incredible all the energies that are here for us right now. Because, well, first of all, we've talked many times that the cycle of new moon is all about beginnings. It's about birthings. It's about creating your vision and putting it out there. So the new moon in the US and in Canada, etc., was yesterday on January 16th, which was also
Mhm.
on Universal Day was the 17th. And so that's a special code because the 17th is the code of really, really working and manifesting, divine manifestation. But of course, it reduces when we add the 1 and the 7 together,
Uh-huh.
it reduces to an 8. And 8, that's it right there, infinity. I mean, it's all about infinity, 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 and bringing forward the divine mission, whatever your divine mission is. And not only that, but we know that this new moon is in the sign of Capricorn.
Mhm.
And it was at 26 degrees Cap, which, if you add the 2 and the 6, is another 8. Yes. So that means we've got the sun and the moon that are supporting all of this 8. So it's like the code is just magnified. And the
And
new moon in Sag that we celebrated as the last new moon of 2017, also at 26 degrees. So that was another 8. And that happened, that's it, when Mercury was retrograde. So whatever we envision for that moon, you know, Mercury kind of backs up and then it goes forward again.
Mhm.
So that's like really moving us forward with all of this. And we have 6 planets right now in Capricorn. 6, count them, 6, right? Sun, Moon, Venus, Saturn,
Uranus.
yeah, Uranus, and Pluto, I think. I think those are the 6. So we've got all of this supporting Capricorn. And Cap, of course, is the sign of the goat, the mountain goat, which is about moving forward a step at a time. If we just close our eyes for a moment and just imagine how a mountain goat moves. I mean, step up, step up, step up, steady goes, all the way to the summit, getting exactly what he needs. So we have all of that
Mhm.
energy right now supporting our divine mission. And Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. And Saturn just moved back into Capricorn. And that's the first time this century that it's even been in Cap. So we have all this Saturn energy, supporting us, moving us forward. And
Okay, so hold on, because now there's a few things I know people are going, okay, this all sounds really good, but I need clarification. I need clarification. So first of all, Sag in Capricorn. So Capricorn, although it's a goat and it's slow and steady and it's supporting your divine mission. So if you don't know what your divine mission is, I heard that question loud and clear. You said it's supporting your divine mission, and someone shouted it there. But how do I know?
I know. Well, here's one way that we can find our divine missions. For one thing, it's guided by our heart, right? What are you doing in your life? Or what do you yearn to do? You know, people often think that that's your career. And oftentimes it is.
Yeah.
You know, there are people that are very blessed, and their career and their divine mission are either in alignment or they're the same. But for many people, our divine mission, that's what we came to earth to do. You know, what did we come in to do? So I would just invite people to take some time, go into their hearts and see what stirs your passions. You know, what are you doing that you see as your reason for being here, your mission for being here? And it can be anything. You know, it might be that you enjoy gardening. Every time you touch a plant, you can feel its heart, and you just know that you have to be in the soil. Boy, those hands just have to be in there. But you might be. Okay.
So what if I love, just like you said, right? I love gardening, right? And I love gardening and I love what you're doing, but I don't want to sell plants. So how do I make a living at that? How?
Well, here's
this. Are you saying this whole planetary new moon is going to support my decision to let go of what is just bringing me in money and a new idea will happen?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
Because on our planet,
mm-hmm.
there is, I believe, some confusion about our finances
just
from our divine mission. Right? They don't have to be the same. That doesn't mean that's where your financial support comes from.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Okay. Just because as people were saying that, they were getting excited, their divine mission, but then they're going, but what is it? And how do I make money at it? And now I'm feeling stressed that the whole planets are lining up and telling me this. And now what do I do?
You know, it's such a crazy thing that we believe our financial support has to come from what we believe is our divine mission. Now it can. Right. You know, it certainly can. But look at all the people. Look at your clients and my clients that stay in a job because financially it can take care of them.
Right. Did I lose you? I'm here. Are you here?
Oh, good. Okay. Somehow the phone was ringing and I had everything turned off. But
we just interrupted this broadcast just to see if you were listening. This is important information. Okay, so we just shifted the consciousness to say you can earn a living and still have a divine mission. Two different things, correct?
Exactly. Two different things.
Like I felt like this past month where I was working with transforming the food bank was part of my divine mission, right? It was part of what I needed to do for the community. It was just something that I was called in to help shift in my daughter's generation. And then literally, I don't know if it was today's Wednesday, so maybe it was sometime Monday, maybe around then, Monday evening, it was like the feeling just completely shifted. And it was like, mission over, right? Complete, like you're complete. And as much as there's this great long-term vision that we can tap and tune into and support, my part of the process is over, right? I just have to, just make sure they know that, and I tidy up a few things, but that's basically, it was just like, yes, and that felt peaceful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there may be a part of a divine mission, and this was a piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because your divine mission, it seems to me, is bringing um, awakening and health and joy to the planet, right? Tell me your slogan again. It's so beautiful.
When I say living your best whole new world, right? That healing from the inside out. Yeah,
Yes,
I just feel like I'm there to be the expression
exactly.
of 1 billion people being healed, right? So
Sure.
it's either in the conversation, it's just who I am. It's like I realize by my participation in the food bank, it was giving people the visual that yes, things could change. Even we just did today. I'm not sure. I don't think we talked about this, but we had this call and I happened to be there and there was an abundance of mussels, not these mussels. That's what I thought,
Oh,
and,
been
and
saying muscle.
mussels. Yeah, mussels. Right. And so I was there and she said, well, I don't know. The coordinator goes, I'm not sure how much we could take. Maybe we could only take like 1 pallet. And I'm like, how many pallets are available?
Wow.
And and they're like, 6. And I said, like, take them all. We're open to taking them all. How long do we have to decide if we can do this? And this was Thursday and we had till Monday. And I'm like, now I'm totally feeling, we're playing the game of taking them all. Actually, there were 8, they said at the time. And then I said, take all 8. And then I hung up the phone and I called, which I'd never knew we even really had a cold storage in the area. And I called them and I said, do you have room? We don't really know. We're looking at 6 pallets. They're like, yeah, we can take the pallets. I'm like, are you going to charge us? Or is this going to be a free donation to the food bank? And they're like, yeah, we'll donate it. And then when we called back to say, why did you call us and not the main city here, right? Like the main food bank in further over in the island. And they're like, they did, but they didn't answer the phone.
Of course.
So we answered the phone. So today I took over one of the ministers of one of the churches. He's cooking up a big dinner for 50 people and they're having mussels for dinner. And it was just like, it's these pallets are like a wooden pallet and it's halfway filled with thing and there's thousands and thousands and they are frozen and they don't expire for like 2 years.
Oh my
So
God.
it is just a blessing and in the process of me receiving it and sharing it, I feel like other people that are following for them God's path, they're seeing because I'm able to sow into them in my own way of saying, yeah, isn't this great how it works? See, God called, we picked up the phone. So many people, God calls, the universe calls, but they don't answer. They go, don't like the way it looks, not sure, was expecting a blonde, you're a brunette.
I love it. I love it. And just mussels, for goodness sakes. That's something that people don't receive as a gift very often. I mean, how absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
So what I was saying before when you were saying that you did the food bank and it was wonderful and now it feels complete for you.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was seeing was this is part of healing the world from inside out.
Yeah.
Because there will be many things that will be short term, but it's part of the divine mission that you have.
Yeah.
So for other people, if other people can see that, so you can have a broad mission,
Mm-hmm.
a divine mission that that this is what I came here for. This is my gift that I want to share with people. And then along the path, there are, I like to call them projects.
Yes.
There are projects.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you realize, oh my God, that was part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being the visionary, which you are and I am.
Yeah.
And so it's wearing those, being in that visionary consciousness so that you see the whole of it. And then you see the pieces are part of the threads that weave the garment that you're wearing this lifetime.
I can see something else we can do. We can have like the visionary series. I could see like royal crowns, like when you put the crown on like
I love it.
but the idea right now is like, what's your vision? Because it's a new moon, it's a new time. The energies have shifted to support you on your divine calling. So that vision, that it might not just even be something that's in your heart, like that you're were paying attention to yesterday. It could be you go back and you realize, oh my gosh, when I was a child, right?
Yes.
I remember I always wanted to do this, right? I always wanted to. I had a friend who said he could see himself flying over Africa dropping presents, right? And I was like, well, then I guess it's going to happen. And he's like, it's just a dream. And I'm like, no, why don't you open the door? So if you have that kind of feeling, what would you say? Open the door and see what happens this year because the planets are supporting you.
That's right. That's right. So I always send people back to their childhood because as we're children, unless someone tells us to color within the lines, we don't have those sorts of blinders on. And we just come in and we're fascinated about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking for your vision, go back to that space. What was it that just lit your heart up? Or what were you always doing? You know? And look there. And of course, I like to say, feel into it.
Yes. Yes. Very important.
Close your eyes and bring yourself back to that point in time and just feel into it. Just feel into it. And it's a perfect place to look and to begin, you know, because we're here for that. We all came in here with our gifts to share.
Yeah.
Because we are all beautifully gifted beings.
And we each have this gift or vision.
Yes.
Because we're designed to carry it out, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So for those people that are watching or listening and going, yeah, but I don't think my idea is going to work. It's like you have the idea. Consider, if you're not sure, consider this, that you have the idea because you were given the idea to fulfill. It's not like you just thought of the idea. It was like, you know what it's like going to play a video game and you already picked this game. Okay. And now you get to actually move to the next level instead of just running around on level one. You're moving to the next level of your own creation.
Absolutely. And you wouldn't have had the idea if there weren't something in it. So as you begin the process of creation, as you begin expanding into it, then there may be a little road or a little avenue that comes off there that you decide to walk. And that's really why you had that idea, was to get you to this idea. I mean, every inventor, every creative has come up with an idea, which I like to call an inspiration. You know, we all have inspirations.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's another piece to that. I believe that there are some things that need to be born onto the planet. So many people receive the inspiration or the idea because it's time for this to be.
Yeah.
And some people will work on it and some people won't. But someone will get it to market. Because
Yeah.
I don't believe an idea or an inspiration comes in to our awareness until it's time for it to birth.
Absolutely. I totally 100% agree with you. And Bridget and I were talking a little bit about that, or I was talking a little bit about that with Bridget, is like, even think of a sunburst,
Yeah.
right? Is when there's documentation of when there's solar flares.
Yes.
And they go, oh, there's energies going out, right? Well, some people almost instantly, as soon as that flare is released, can sense something that's going on in the universe. And it's not just like the there's people. And it's like as the energy gets closer, you sense different things. It's like a storm. You know, animals respond faster in many different ways than humans do, right?
Yes.
So everybody is receiving a signal, whether or not you're tuned into that signal. It's like all the different radio stations are out there and all the different Facebook channels are. And you could have just passed our channel and missed this great show.
Absolutely. I know. Could you imagine?
I know. And so it's like if you get the idea and it feels like something you want and you act on it, someone's going to act on it. And we like to, as a society, say, oh, it was my idea. I'm going to copyright. I'm going to trademark. It's all mine.
Ella. I agree. And you know, what the other piece to that, oh my gosh, it looks like it's snowing again. And I think what's happening is the wind is blowing and there's snow blowing everywhere. Oh, and Frozen was made for me. Let it snow. I mean, I'm there. Oh my God. Oh no, it really is snowing again.
So for those of you that missed the beginning, because Beloved and I were talking before we went on the air, she's back in Asheville, South Carolina, right? North Carolina, because I was going to say South. So she is no longer back. She's no longer home in Florida. So it's snowing there. It's snowing here too. Like now, it's a white that light, like fluffy whiteness.
Yes.
So do you want to build a snowman?
Oh, I love it. You know, I have to tell you, I was speaking to my son today, and all my friends, everybody knows how I feel about snow.
Uh-huh.
So the day before I came up, I was talking to my granddaughter, whose home I'm in right now. And I said, let's call in the Snow Queen. She said, okay. I said, ooh, let's call in a snow day. She said, oh yeah, that's even better. Well, there was no snow predicted. I mean, not at all. And my daughter called me yesterday. I was about an hour from Asheville. And she said they've closed the schools an hour early
because it's a snow day.
We're having a storm and it's going to snow, and they're expecting it to start around 5 and move in slowly, and it'll snow all night. So this morning I was FaceTiming with my son in Florida because I wanted my youngest granddaughter to see the snow.
Right.
And I was telling them the story. And my son says, you don't think you brought the snow, do you?
You're like, uh-huh.
I said, well, did I physically create the snow, or did I just put the vision out there in the invocation? Yeah. And he said that he would feel better if I had said to his daughter especially, God answered my prayer. And here was the snow. And I said, well, that works too. You know, it's however one understands it.
Right.
My energies move toward the Snow Queen and Lady Luna and invocations and calling it in. But it's the same thing, isn't it? Yes. So with our divine mission, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what language you use. It's how you understand your purpose here and your divine mission.
And it's what you believe to
Yes.
be true about it, right? Because as we're talking about this thing, think of Walt Disney. We mentioned Frozen. So Walt Disney, I mean, he's one of those people that the ideas that came to him at the time were, woo, the Wright brothers. You're going to bring steel and you're going to put it in the air. Google. Oh, what? You're going to create this thing that everybody's going to go and search and connect. Like all these ideas someone had and took action on, and they really have revolutionized everything. And that if you have an idea that makes you sing with joy, that you're excited about and you believe in, there is this force that supports you, whatever you want to call it, God, motherly, unified field. And I know the same thing in the opposite. Here on the island, it's like we'll get these calls in and they'll be like, oh, major weather bomb about to happen or something. And I just kind of for me, I just kind of go, it's going round.
Yeah.
There's going to be like a big circle right around where we live. Okay. If it has to go, and it's just going to move it right around. And so many times that's exactly what happened. We've even seen big circles in the sky, right? It's like this gigantic in the horizon. There's like a big halo around, and we have clear skies everywhere. And over there, it's foggy and overcast. Or you drive, and it's like, do you believe it? Yes. Do I believe it? Yes. If you believe it, yay.
Yes. And, we've seen evidence of this. I mean, there's so much evidence, and not just anecdotal. Larry Dossey did all of the studies on prayer and medicine, and the blind group had no idea they were being prayed for. They had no idea. And yet their healing was incredible. They've done things in war zones with meditation, with everyone focusing on peace, with people getting still, coming within. So, that old thing about their safety in numbers? Things go exponentially. There are a bunch of us that are storm busters.
Yeah.
We work during the hurricanes and to diffuse them. Well, here's the thing. Nature, my understanding, nature is real. And it's energy. And it's vibration. And we are real. And we are energy. And we are vibration. So there's a natural alignment there. And when we live in the natural world, which is why I think the moon things are so important to align with the energies, when we live our lives that way, of course, one of my favorite all time, and it's Disney, is the song from Pocahontas and the film.
The Color of the Wind?
Yes. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? That's what we're meant to do, right?
Right.
That's what we're meant to do. Of course you talk to the trees.
Yeah.
Of course grandmothers answer. The fairies are there. The realms. We can play in all of these realms. And the world is just an incredibly fabulous playground.
Yeah.
Where we all play together when we are in our divine place, our divine understanding, our divine energies. And you can substitute the word divine. I'm big on divine and magical.
Right.
But there are other words you can use. But when we're in that place of who we really are, then we know what lights us up.
Yeah.
We know what ignites us. That's where we find our divine mission, is in that space.
So in that space, for everybody,
Yes.
if you have yet to do any sort of vision board or visioning or intention setting as the start of this 2018, this is the perfect time to do it, because everything is supporting you for what the desires of your heart are.
Okay.
So take a moment, right?
Yes.
Get rid of any of those limiting ideas. You can just get rid of them, be done with them, and turn towards setting the new intention. So they write them down,
Yes.
draw them out, hold them in a sacred space. You did this lovely ceremony last night regarding a new moon ceremony, but it's like, in a sense, recognize that you're giving birth to the experience, and you're trusting it and enjoying it and playing with it. Just play with it.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry. There's another piece to that for me. And that is, I always speak it out loud.
Yeah.
And the reason I do that, and the reason I invite my clients to speak their creations, their visions, their intentions out loud, is we are giving life.
Mm-hmm.
We are giving breath. And when we unite our breath with our heart's desire, and we send it out into the cosmos, into the field, then it becomes live differently than having it in here.
Yes.
Within. And
mm-hmm.
it also then can gather things that resonate to the same vibration.
Very important piece, because
yes,
if you're paying attention here,
yes,
most of the conversation that people are having, like, they're giving birth to all the things they don't want in their life. They're having conversations every single day about the stuff they want to eliminate from their life, the stresses, the conflicts, the news, the gossip, you name it. That is what they're giving birth to. So what we're encouraging you to do, this is a beautiful time that supports you in a whole new way of your desires, is give birth, speak it out loud. If you just want to speak it out loud to yourself, right?
yes.
Speak it out loud to the mirror. Speak it out, but speak it out and notice how you feel when you're speaking out your vision. Do you have that same intensity to believe it, like you do about, oh, did you hear about so-and-so? Did you see what happened on the news? And start to make this year the year that you become aware of the power of the words you speak, the intentions, the belief, the energy you put towards what you desire, versus the stuff you really, well, maybe you just enjoy complaining about it and you're not ready to give that up yet.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
But I would give one caveat. If you're not ready to give something up yet, that's fine. We live in a world of choice.
Right.
But maybe you don't want to speak it, because maybe you don't want more of it.
Right.
So again, just as Jacqueline said, just become aware of your words, aware of your thoughts, because where you focus, that's what turns on.
Right.
Right? Where your focus is, your energy goes. And that's what will birth, So it's an exciting time, isn't it?
It is, and it's an exciting time happening over there with your snow, and it's just all great thing that you can go out and build a snowman. And this is a conversation that obviously is going to continue because
Yeah.
the planets and everything are all in alignment to support this. So this is a year of manifesting your heart's desires and supporting your divine mission. If that's all you got from this conversation, go forth and conquer.
That's it. Oh, that's very cool. Yes, go forth and conquer.
Prosper. What's that? I can't.
That's it.
Can you do that sign?
Yes.
With a
Yes.
Spock. Oh, you can. I can start it now.
You know where this came from?
Star Trek.
I mean, yes, but do you know where it came
No.
from? Leonard Nimoy was asked.
Having a manicure?
Yeah, I know. He was asked to come up with the sign that they could use, and he was of the Jewish faith, and this is the priestly benediction that rabbis use at the end of the services.
These two.
Yeah.
They will not. They are stick together. There you go.
Yeah.
She's got it. I can do it in this one, but that's it.
There you go. I read an article or heard an interview of him speaking about it. And I didn't know that, but I thought, wow, that was really interesting because it's a blessing. It's a mudra.
The mudra.
The blessing just doesn't come from India. And here we have people all over the world without knowing it, continuing to give blessings.
Live long and prosper.
That's it. That's it. So I just think things like that are so beautiful because things come in when it's time for them to birth.
Yeah. And just, like even as you say, things come in when it's time, and recognize what you're choosing, because just as you're choosing, there are things that come in that I hear people talk about all the time. And I go, why would you want to talk about that one? Right? Like, why would you gravitate to that phrase and continue to say it over and over again when, if you really pay attention to what that phrase is, it is a disempowering phrase, right? But it's amazing. So notice what you're noticing. You have all the support. Go back and watch this over again. Go to Beloved's page, and you'll probably catch, is it on your page or just in our little group?
It's just in the High Vibe Goddess Circle.
Okay.
But people can certainly come and join that.
Exactly. So you can reach out if the High Vibe Goddess Circle, you're looking at two of them right here. No.
Yes, that's right. Two of us from the circle are right here. Yeah.
And she did a beautiful new moon ceremony last night. So there's something for everyone, whatever you're designed to do. It's supported. Just we encourage you to get forth and love your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What a beautiful way to start the new year.
Fabulous. I so love you, and thank you for being with us all the way from Asheville.
Thank you.
Have a great time with your family, your grandchildren.
Woo. Thank you so much. Loads of love. Bye.